Hey guys, welcome to another Pony 4-in-1. This is episode 68 for the week of August 24th. So, yeah, I'm Nemesis, and joining me, as always, per usual, all that stuff, Alcatraz.
Yo.
Okay, see, we have actually a fairly large amount of news after that week of almost nothing.
Yeah.
And we're going to once again go back to an old episode as I teased last week.
Yep.
If you haven't figured it out yet, well, I'll give you a couple more seconds. A couple more minutes, actually, I guess. Whatever. Anyway.
Moving right along.
Yeah, got news. And, of course, with that news, as always, show notes, because those are helpful for following along. You can see them at pony411.libsyn.com/show notes. All of them. Links. They're good links, for finding out stuff.
Yeah, for the rest of the information.
Yeah, so let's get going. Conventions to start us off. DerpyCon South, which, if you remember, I was the one I was saying was probably in trouble, is doing one last pre-registration sale, which ends September 3rd. So if you're still insistent on going, well, there you go.
There you go.
September 3rd is your cutoff date for the sale before the sale ends. Nightmare Nights Dallas has announced that comic book writer Heather Neufer will be attending.
Yay.
So, more guests for the Dallas Con. And finally, in big news, Babs Con already has a guest announcement for next year, and it's a big one. None other than John Delancey.
Yay.
He hasn't made an appearance since that BronyCon, what was it, 2012?
Yeah, I think so.
Yes.
It was the one with the documentary.
Yeah, BronyCon, I believe that was his
first
one and only pony convention.
Yep.
So, that's big news.
That is big news.
It's still a good chunk of time away. Anyway, moving to fandoms and other nonsense.
Nonsense.
Guess to be honest, fandom is full of nonsense, including here, especially here.
Especially here.
The sixth part of the Bronies 2 has been released. This one showing Lauren Faust giving advice to a, I guess, up-and-coming cartoonist type person.
Yep.
So, another one of those shorts. Speaking of doc stuff, A Brony Tale has finally released on DVD. You can get it on Amazon, Best Buy, or Barnes & Noble. So, there you go. I think it's $15 or so, $15, $16.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, although Best Buy, you can only buy it online, not in store, so just know that.
They don't want to be seen stalking something like that.
I don't know. I think it's just an online-only thing. Anyway, Pony VRville has been released for Oculus Rift. Explore Ponyville and never leave your house again.
Yes. Oculus Rift 3D.
Yeah,
on your face.
I think we saw this. Yeah, so this was on display at Everfree. Yes, I remember.
Recall it being there, yes.
Yes, it was there. So, yeah, it's just virtual. You can also use it without Oculus Rift, but that kind of deadens the experience a little bit.
Oh, yeah, look into that Google VR thing with your phone. That might work. I don't know.
This is a Windows executable, so you'd have to get converted to Android.
There's ways.
There's ways, but
there's ways.
It's work involved.
Yes.
Just not, A video of pre-alpha gameplay from Fallout Equestria game has been released by Overmare Studios, and they're using the Unity engine.
Yeah, looks like they're building it sort of from scratch instead of making a mod.
Yeah, which surprised me, but yeah, it's going to be a RPG Fallout style, Fallout 3 New Vegas style.
Yeah.
So, just know what you're getting into. It's kind of interesting looking, so who knows? Maybe it'll come out before a C&D happens.
The question would be, who are they going to get a C&D from this time?
Bethesda or Hasbro or both.
Or both.
Anyway, the Ice Bucket Challenge has been exploded over the last week. You've probably been well aware of it. It's basically donate $10 and dump a bucket of ice to your head to the ALS.
Yeah, the ALS Foundation.
Yeah, ALS Foundation, or donate $100.
Yeah.
And you also challenge 3 other people to do it.
Or you can donate as much as you want and still dump a bucket of ice water on your head.
Anyway, and several people involved with the show have taken part, including, I'm pretty sure Megan McCarthy did it, who was the one who kicked it off for
I think so.
This, I guess, the show stuff. And then Emma Larson, Tara Strong, Andrea Libman, Claire Collette, they've all done it, so.
Yeah.
There's probably more on the way.
Probably more.
Probably
will be more by the time you actually hear this.
Yeah, so. Yeah, it's a big thing, so if you want to investigate, check it out.
Or dump a bucket of ice in your head for a good cause.
Yeah.
As long as you donate.
Ice water.
Yeah,
Don't just ice cubes, that probably would hurt.
I think I've seen that done already. That does sound painful.
Be careful with the bucket. Don't drop the bucket on your head.
Or have someone throw a cooler at you.
Yeah. So, just be careful if you do it. Anyway, merchandise. Images of the Funko Mystery Minis transparent Discord are now available. So, yeah, a while back I kept saying glitter, which was stupid.
Yeah.
I got basically the article that first said something said glitter, and I just kind of rolled with it, even though I should have known better.
Rolling with it.
Yep, I just rolled with it, even though I knew better. Anyway, yeah, transparent Discord, you can see it. Again, very rare. Good luck getting it if you want one.
Yeah, might have to look into that.
The MLP merch blog has images of all the Wave 2 and 3 pop figures that will be available. So if you want to see what those are like, yeah, it's new stuff, some old stuff with some different accessories. But yeah, Pony Pops figures. So there you go.
Yep.
The Diamond Select Rarity Bank is coming in early 2015, but with BBTS, that's Big Bad Toy Store, saying January and Entertainment Earth saying March. I'm not sure which one, but either which way, $20, just like the other two banks.
Yeah.
The Aurora Spike is now in stock at Toy Wiz, but for some reason it's slightly different than the original pictures we were getting.
Yeah, the image changed and it looks different now.
It's a different plushie now. I'm not sure why. Something changed at some point.
I think the new image looks a little worse.
A little bit. I don't know exactly what's going on there, but yeah, if you still want it.
Oh, it says it's in stock, so
$16 or something like that. It's in stock now. The MLP version of Life is supposedly available on Amazon, at least according to all the news sources we found, but now I looked and it's no longer available, even though the listing's there, so I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
And there's another site that also has it still for pre-order, so I'm not sure what's going on. I'm not sure if they just ran out and have no plans of ordering more or what.
Or they're just working on it.
Something weird happened. Usually it would just say out of stock. If it says not available, it usually means there's not really a plan right now to get more.
Maybe someone just clicked the wrong button. We shall see.
We'll find out. I don't know. Just keep an eye on that if you're interested. The MLP pop-up books, apparently we talked about this. One of them has shown up on Amazon. You know, it's popped up on Amazon.
Ha ha ha.
They're supposed to release August 27th, so it's this week. There you go. Pop-up book.
Pop-up. Pop-up.
Finally, merch news. The Funko Rarity, Daring Do, and Discord figures have started to appear in Hot Topic stores, so be on the lookout for those.
I'm actually going to have to make another trip that direction.
The three of them starting to pop up. So look for those if you want them. If you've been collecting Funkos or your favorite ponies there, or you just want Discord, whatever. And in comic news, a preview for issue number 23 of the MLP comic is available on iTunes. So once again, if you don't care about spoilers, there you go. You can look at that. It's the pet issue.
Pet.
Yeah. Issue 25, we already knew about this one, and Friends Forever number 11 have both been revealed for November release. We already knew some of the details, but anyway, synopsis was there, and this is it. A new plot of land has been bequeathed to the Apple family, and they, along with the rest of our favorite ponies, go to investigate the land's worth. Unfortunately, the land has been taken over by cattle rustlers who think there's treasure hidden somewhere on it. It's an epic Western pony style.
Sounds interesting.
Yeah. And Friends Forever, number 11, and this is something that I think Alcatraz is going to be a little bit happy about. It's Dash and Spitfire. And Rainbow Dash is overjoyed when Wonderbolt Spitfire invites her to a special training camp. However, Spitfire is hiding a secret that she is ashamed to admit. Will Dash be able to help before the camp turns into chaos?
That one I'm looking forward to. The cover actually has Dash Spitfire
and a bunch
surrounded by foals.
Oh dear.
So that looks...
I think I know what the secret is. Anyway. Finally, in comic news, Comics Alliance has an interview with comic artist Andy Price. So if you want to, learn about how he got into the comics and all this stuff, check it out.
Yay.
And moving on to Rainbow Rocks news. Rainbow Rocks is apparently getting a vinyl release, and the vinyl release has revealed some of the songs from the movie, plus it will have songs from the first movie as well. Although, interestingly enough, the listing on the vinyl site that was found has now been pulled.
Yeah, so that's
and now if you try to click the link on, say, Equestria Daily, it will give you a 404 page.
Yep.
However, I was able to successfully order one before that. I suspect they just accidentally put it up too early. Because the fact is, this is a site that, this is a site that will take your money right from the second you order, not when it comes out. So
it's not like Amazon.
They have not refunded me yet.
Either they're incredibly slow, or they're just holding on to it until later.
Because it's weird. It's a weird thing is there's a 404 page, but when I go like elsewhere on the site, there's a little sidebar that says recently viewed, and there it is, full text of the title, full title, says pre-order, even has a little picture of the cover, the album cover still. But if you click on it, it'll just say 404 page not found.
Yeah, it sounds like it's still in their system. They just pulled the the page listing down.
Mm-hmm. It's in the system. It's in their database, but the listing is gone. Like I said, probably wasn't supposed to go up yet.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
All right. And also in Rainbow Rocks news, a new preview of Rainbow Rocks has appeared, and it focuses on the villains of the movie.
Yes.
So, okay, quick spoilers right now.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, it's a preview. I'm willing to bet this is like the opening scene in the movie. That's what it looks like. It seems to be framed. Anyway.
And it runs at the same time as like the ending of the last movie.
Yeah, so basically it's the three villains, Adagio Dazzle, Sonata Dusk, I think there was a Sonata Blaze, and the other one, I can't remember.
I can't remember.
I want it's something, oh crap, I can't remember the names now. But anyway, the three of them are in a cafe, restaurant, whatever, and there's a bunch of people arguing, and there's that green mist we saw from that previous
from the previous video.
And they're doing their little singing, and they're complaining basically this world sucks. There's no magic here. There's no magic, and we're barely able to feed whatever. Apparently they feed off something. Looks like some sort. Cause arguments and stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway, while they're there sitting there arguing and complaining, all of a sudden Adagio sees a beam of light, and she has to go out to see and what it is, and then we see, oh hey, look, there's that rainbows and everything. It's the scene,
the double helix rainbow.
Yeah, it was the scene from the last movie. So
yeah,
except from a different perspective, and finding out, hey, that's equestrian magic. Somehow equestrian magic's here. Now we're gonna maybe be able to actually do something. Also, interesting enough, that one of the things they said was they were banished here.
Yep, they were banished here from Equestria.
Yeah, they're complaining about how they're banished, but Mike Vogel revealed it was not Celestia who banished them.
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah. So who was it, and when were they banished, and all that stuff? So this is going to be interesting.
Where was the mirror? Or is the mirror?
Mirror was in the Crystal Empire recently, but it was in Camelot for a while.
Yeah. So did they get banished through the mirror, or is there another way?
We don't know yet.
We'll find out.
We'll find out.
Maybe we might see. They might just skip
it's
over
likely
that.
Because he teased that. It's likely it's going to come up.
I'll hope so.
I mean, the fact he's teasing about it wasn't Celestia means it's probably going to come up and be important. Someone banished him.
Here's hoping.
Things are happening.
It's happening.
Just a little over a month left.
I know.
So, anyway. Moving on to show news. Season 1 on DVD is available for pre-order in the UK. So, on Amazon. So if you live in Region 2, Europe, this should be good news for you because, it's a Region 2, so you can order it and get it shipped to you in mainland Europe, I believe. I'm not sure if I think Amazon UK does do that, but it's also not too difficult probably to get it through other means. Yeah. Region 2, PAL. Season 1. PAL, I guess. I call it PAL.
Yeah, I think everyone calls it PAL.
Yeah, so there you go. GM Barrow has confirmed during her panel at Buck that her episode in Season 5 will be about Pinkie Pie.
Yay.
So, more Pinkie.
More Pinkie.
Maybe it's the family episode.
That'd be interesting.
We got confirmation that Pinkie's family is going to be in there, so
that'll be interesting.
That'd be fun. But anyway, there's been a rumor. I want to stress this.
Yes, rumor.
Going around, the David Tennant of Doctor Who fame is going to be a guest star on MLP.
I'm a huge Doctor Who fan, and that would be really, really awesome. But
I would groan so hard.
It's big time rumor. I'm not holding my breath.
Yeah, it's a rumor that's been going around based off some nebulous sources, I would say.
Yeah, I think it'd be really, really awesome, and
I think it'd be really stupid.
It'd be really awesome if he showed up, but I won't be surprised if it doesn't happen.
Yeah,
I'll put it that way.
I'm hoping it doesn't happen. I'm hoping it was just someone joking around or something, but
I don't know. We shall see. We got Weird Al once.
Yeah, but I really don't want David Tennant in there.
The Doctor Who official Doctor Who
that Doctor Who's thing should not have been in there. Period.
Well, I won't be surprised if it doesn't happen, but I think it would be cool.
Anyway, that's the news. As far as I know.
As far as I know.
Because always what happens, something big is announced after we record and before we release. Always, I swear.
Monday.
It's always Mondays. Monday. Always Monday. Something big is announced. So what? Hope that doesn't happen this week. Anyway, discussion. So, I teased it. And we are talking about the Cutie Pox from Season 2.
Yeah.
I picked this episode. Why? Because back then, I used to consider it the worst episode of the series.
Wasn't that good?
I used to consider it the worst, and then Spike at Your Service came along and showed me a whole new depth. So anyway, just brief refresher. It's just Apple Bloom once again upset, no cutie mark, goes to Zakor, mixes up a brew, gets a bunch of cutie marks, gets the Cutie Pox, and then has to get them out by telling the truth. The end. Anyway.
Yeah, that pretty much will sums everything.
Yeah, so quick synopsis. That's the thing, like I said, this was an episode I was really down on initially, and I know a lot of people would disagree with it being the worst. A lot of people would say Mysterious Ne'er-Do-Well, but to be honest, I'm not a Dash fan, so I'm not as down on Mysterious Ne'er-Do-Well as this. I'm not really a fan of that episode, but I'm still not as down on it, so I still thought this one was the worst. And it was the worst all the way up until Spike at Your Service. And my reasons for that, one, CMC episode. At this time, CMC episodes had a bad reputation for good reason.
For good reason, yeah.
So, especially I remember when the Fanning got 2 in a row in season 1, everyone was like, no!
Yeah, that was...
You weren't around.
No, but I had to go and watch them.
Yeah, so this was the first CMC episode, I believe, on season 2?
Was it? May have been.
Yes, I'm pretty sure, because it was, let's see, Return of Harmony, Lesson 0, Luna Eclipsed, and then...
Give me 2 seconds.
It was Luna Eclipse, and that was number 4.
Luna Eclipse was number 4, followed by Sisterhood of Social.
Okay, so it was the second one.
And then the Cutie Pox.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Sisterhood of Social was first, and that was actually a fairly enjoyable episode, oddly enough.
That one was pretty good. But it wasn't that one wasn't solely focused on CMC as much as this one was. It had a lot more main 6 interaction.
Yeah, but it was still pretty much about Sweetie Belle and her relationship with her sister.
But it had a lot of rarity.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, this one, it's just kind of Apple Bloom once again whining about no cutie mark. Really down about it too. Yeah, exactly. And that was always the biggest problem people had with CMC was just they're always whining about no cutie mark and stuff, and they're being so boneheaded about how to get it.
Yep.
That's always been the biggest problem. They've thankfully since then alleviated that. They've gotten a little, oh hey, let's go beyond the cutie mark thing. It was
cute the first time they did it.
Yeah, so
but then
I'm guessing you didn't really like it that much either.
It was not the greatest, no. It definitely wasn't. I mean, probably have to agree with you on being the worst.
Was
Still
the worst of season 2.
Of season 2, yes.
Overall was until something worse came along. So yeah, it's like that's a weird thing too. It's like I'm watching it again. It's like, yeah, I've seen worse now. So it's honestly not as bad as it used to seem, but
some parts of this one it's like
it's also very uneven.
Yeah,
like you get the opening thing. The whole bowling alley scene was great.
That was great.
That was like the highlight of the show, the episode.
That's what everyone remembers it for.
Yeah,
it was why? The Big Lebowski.
Yeah, the Big Lebowski reference, a blatant one. It's like even had the Jesus in there.
Yeah.
Which is, if you know why, if you watch the movie, which you should, you'll know why that's a kind of surprising he's in there.
But yeah, after that, it's just like,
Yeah, it's just, then the opening title sequence, and then
it just kind of blah after that.
I think one thing that doesn't help is the really long loop-de-hoop sequence. Absurdly long.
That was way too long.
I think that takes up like half the episode.
Something like maybe probably close to like a quarter or
something.
A third.
It was pretty long.
It felt a lot longer than it was, and that's a problem.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of started off maybe it had promise, but then that also really wrecked the pacing too. It's just this really long scene, and when you cut that scene down, then it's like, oh wow, this is not going to fill a full 22 minutes is the problem.
Yeah, I think that's probably what it is. They had everything out and then just kind of expanded one of them to fill out the space. Because there really isn't all that much to it.
Yeah, it's just her just showing off loop-de-hoop skills.
And then
loop-de-hoop, it's a hula hoop, but they can't say hula hoop because that's trademarked or copywritten. I don't remember which one exactly, but any which way, it's one of those legally iffy things.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure Mattel owns that. I think
Sure.
It's Mattel.
We have the power of the internet.
Yeah, power of the internet. Google, save us. And of course, you got Diamond Tiara and Silver Spoon both being jerks as usual.
as jerks, but they weren't actually insufferable as they normally
they're just
were.
because they're barely there. And actually, if anything, Apple Bloom was kind of being insufferable for a bit, just because she's just so. I don't have a cutie mark.
I don't have. Yeah, throughout the whole entire opening, I don't. No one can cheer me up, and then it just randomly everyone keeps trying things. It's just like, I don't know, piece-wise, I don't know. It just didn't flow very well.
Yeah, like I said, pacing really messed up, and then you know, she gets the multiple cutie. There's some funny. It's a weird thing too, because it's a lot of the funny stuff in it. I think it's the same sort of thing with Spike at the Derby. You know, there's funny stuff in it. There's good stuff in it, but it's just marred overall by some of the just iffiness, just the weirdness about it. I think also it doesn't help that their little moral at the end kind of doesn't gel totally. It's like, oh, you need to tell the truth.
Yeah, it was.
That just came out of left field, really. I mean, okay, she steals the potion in the beginning or whatever.
Yeah, there's very, very little connection between the moral and the plot line. It felt like it's kind of...
Well, we got to latch onto this piece of the story. Yeah. And that's this... It's like they would think, don't steal would be a better one, but... don't steal,
Yeah.
But anyways, it somehow becomes about telling the truth, and it's like, this barely... I would say don't drink anything you don't know exactly what it'll do.
Yeah.
Don't drink any strange liquids.
And it's not owned by Mattel. It's
okay.
Whammo.
Blammo. Okay.
Whammo.
Okay, so different toy company.
Either way.
Not Hasbro. And there's also another sequence which this wasn't as long, but it's just when the cutie marks start appearing like crazy. It's another just kind of long sequence of not much is really happening. We're just saying, oh look, there's it's kind of
random
it's funny.
symbols. It is.
It's funny, and that's another. I guess that's the second best part. But it's just not much is really happening to forward the plot. It's just this story was not big enough to support full episodes. So they had to take two scenes and really drag them out.
Yes, that's probably this one's big. Well, not its biggest issue. I think the sort of disconnected moral to storyline is probably his biggest issue, but
moral storyline
they don't line up the pieces. They stretch things out too much. It's just not a very good, well put together
Deus Ex Machina sort of. Although
it's a disease with no known cure. Oh, I have a flower that fixes it.
Yeah, one of the funny jokes, of course, the trots is one of the
trots.
One of the diseases mentioned. It's like, wow, they got that through. It's also one of those weird episodes where it's like Twilight's kind of shoehorned in, but it also makes sense why she's there. It's like, hey, she's a smart one. She probably knows something, right?
Yeah.
Or she'll know someone who can. She's smart and she has connections.
It's not what she knows too, Sometimes it's both.
Yeah. It's like, well, it makes sense. But another thing is like when Applejack's trying to stop Apple Bloom, it's like, you have a lasso,
Yeah.
You can lasso,
She just got out of bed. She was probably tired and wasn't thinking.
Yeah. There's also the weird thing, just Charlie, what's this weird, just looking angry, and then all of a sudden,
yeah, what is with that? That
was just a weird scene.
It was. I didn't like that scene at all. It's just
weird.
Weird. Yeah.
It didn't work.
It didn't.
This whole episode just kind of felt disconnected and disjointed and all over uneven. Just okay.
This was Amy Keating Rogers' first episode of that season too.
Really? This was Amy Keating Rogers. Oh yeah, I guess everyone has to turn in a dud at some point.
Yeah, it was AKR's first. She didn't write another one
of season 2.
Of 2, yeah, season 2. She didn't have another one up until the last roundup,
which was a much better episode.
Yes.
So I don't know.
That was kind of an infamous episode, but it was a much better episode.
Anyway, so yeah, it's just disconnected. That's why it was so bad. It's just it was all over the place.
Yeah.
And no, it didn't help that this was like the first episode of season 2. We're like, uh-oh. And then we got Mysterious Ne'er-Do-Well, and we're like, uh-oh. We got 2 in a row where people were not really too happy about it. And then,
actually, no, we didn't. That one was May the Best Pet Win that was right.
Well, I remember people were pretty down on that one,
Cutie Pox, May the Best Pet Win,
and then Mysterious
Ne'er-Do-Well.
Yeah, like a lot of people, those 3 episodes, people were not, a lot of people consider that's the low point of season 2 in general.
Which kind of sucks because it was right after a high point. We had Discord showing up, then Lesson Zero, then Luna Eclipse, and then we kind of came down a little.
Was pretty good still.
Yeah, but then all of a sudden this hit.
You got these 3 episodes where everyone's like, oh man. Yeah, so we got yeah, maybe the best pet one is probably the best of those three, but still, it has several problems in of itself.
It does.
And then we got, okay, we're back. And then what was the next one after Mysterious?
After Mysterious Murder-Well was Sweet and Elite.
Sweet and Elite, yeah, which was a much market improvement. And from there, things kind of went much better for the rest of the season.
Yep. Except
for, the Phantom kind of had its a dark point with the last roundup, but we're not here for that.
Yeah, we're not here for that. And that was actually
second CMC-ish episode of the season about Apple Bloom. Not really well done. It felt basically it was too long for the story. If they were willing to do like those, like a lot of shows do and do half episodes, yeah, they could have done like this and another thing, like half length episodes, 11 minutes each rather than a full 22-minute.
Yeah, that would have been
probably would have worked out better because then they could have compressed it better because this is pacing in the wrong one where this is the pacing where it's too short for what you're trying to do.
Yeah, where usually we have the issue where you can feel it. The story was a lot longer and they had to shove it down. This one they had to stretch out.
Yeah, so it's unique for that. So yeah, usually I still think it's not a great episode, but
after seeing
later
season 3,
later episodes,
it's not as bad as it had been.
Yeah, it's not. It's not.
It
was like became okay. It's no longer the worst. It's just still pretty down there though.
One thing though, at the end of the episode, there was a reference that they used later on. Was because. Apple, hey, you're actually pretty good at making potions. Well, guess what? We saw in Twilight Time. That's what she's still doing. She's learning actually how to do that for real.
Yeah, so maybe
that was interesting.
So yeah, that's the one thing they kind of the hook they brought back much later. But
actually, now I'm curious who wrote Twilight Time. Twilight Time, where are you? That was Dave Polsky.
Oh, see, totally different.
So it wasn't AKR.
But look. Continuity.
Yeah,
because remember season 4 they started introducing actual continuity.
Yeah.
Like for real.
They started really caring about it in season 4.
Yeah, so hopefully that will continue.
Hopefully that will.
Anyway.
Yeah.
This was the worst for a while for me. This is and it was weird because a lot of people say Mysterious Murder-Well is much worse. And I'm just disagreeing because I noticed that most of the people who say Mysterious Murder-Well is the worst are also happen to be Rainbow Dash fans. I'm not saying there's a connection, but
I will say, as a Rainbow Dash fan, Mysterious Murder-Well was not the worst. I think it was badly written, and I have some issues against it.
Later.
But
that's for a different episode.
It was not as bad as this one. At least Mysterious Murder-Well had meat you could dig into past the bad writing. This one was just. You get past the bad writing and, there's nothing.
Yeah.
It's just kind of bleh.
Yeah, it's just one of those, they just fumbled. It was just a fumble.
Yep.
And every writer is bound to make a fumble.
Yep.
And I think, I'm trying to think of, I guess Megan McCarthy, you could say her fumble was Equestria Girls, but that wasn't as bad of a fumble.
That was not as bad as a fumble.
So, anyway, yeah, I guess that's all we can really say about it. I mean, there's not much beyond it, except it's still comparing it from then to now. It's still not it hasn't really improved much, but it's just there's a much worse later. So
it looks better in recent light.
It looks better by comparison. It's not saying it's better just because I'm seeing it differently now.
Yeah.
It's still the worst.
Still not
season
very
2.
good.
I would still say it's the worst season 2 by far. Anyway, we also have a comic to talk about. It's Friends Forever number 8. It came out. I got it, so it's about Applejack and Rarity. And it's a road trip type. And it's even called, it's Rains, Trains, and Carts with Wheels. That's a reference. Haven't figured it out yet. Anyway, yeah, Applejack has to go, business meeting type stuff, West Coast.
Yep.
Because they need a, good old
family.
They need the bits.
Yeah.
Why? Barn. Although how the barn went down is hilarious.
That is hilarious.
Anyway, Rarity hears about it because Applejack needs new luggage.
Yeah.
Suitcase, I guess. Duffel bag, whatever.
Yep.
And of course, Rarity hears what's going on, so she wants to go with her. And it turns into a road trip. And surprise, they kind of start getting on each other's nerves a little bit.
Surprise, surprise.
As Applejack and Rarity are wont to do.
As we've seen from one episode.
Yeah, and from there, the wacky hijinks ensue. I want to say, it's a really fun little one. It's a fun little story.
It was.
This is
really
Spice
fun
and
read.
Cook back on form.
Yep. I love the little jokes all over the place. Little references here and there.
Mm-hmm. including to future events.
Oh.
Yeah. Even the cattle rustlers.
Cattle rustlers.
They pop up. They even mention it. It's like, we'll be back in another issue.
We'll be back in another issue.
Yep. Fourth wall broken. And just basically playing off. That's the thing about these two. Their dynamic is just so good.
They're opposites, but they work so well together.
Just how well. It's just weird how well they work together. It's like, geez, no wonder people ship them.
Yeah.
But yeah. When I said the barn, this is very early, so I'm not feeling too bad about spoiling.
It's not a major plot point.
But anyway, look, there's a loose board on the side of the barn. Gonna fix it, right?
Yep.
So, Big Mac hits it with a hammer, and the whole barn just explodes. Basically,
Yep.
It just crashes down, except for the one board.
Except for
somehow.
the one board.
Just don't know how, but it's hilarious, and it's just another one of those just cooked visuals, or not cooked. This is Price.
Yeah.
This Price visuals just works with it. Oh no, by the way, this one also has the good old story at the end by Cook.
Got a little story at the end there for you.
It's just a fun little just road trip episode, like not episode, but issue. It's fun.
Yeah, it's great. Highly recommended.
Yeah, it's a great, and it's just I think these are the characters I think they love writing the most. Is Applejack and Rarity.
That's what it feels
like. It wouldn't surprise me. So yeah, check it out. Have fun with it. Definitely worth the $4.
Yes, unless you go with one of the variants.
You're gonna have to spend a little bit more to get those, but yeah, it's fun.
It's fun.
Check it out. Anyway, moving on. Hey, fan content. Yeah, after that big explosion of it last week, we're back to normal.
Yes, have some more.
To start us off, we have music that Alcatraz found.
Yep. First one I have is The Twilight Will Rise by Turquoise Splash. This one's featuring Megaphoric and Jeff the Loaf. It's a great vocal soft acoustic. I'm not quite sure if you can call it soft rock or not, but I thought it was really, really well done, and I thought the female vocals were great. They were spot on, but it was a really good listen. What did you think?
This is a pretty fun song. I mean, yeah, it's like again another female vocalist. Yeah, it's a fun little song. I liked it a lot. It's like a pretty soft, but not super soft.
Yeah.
I guess it's like one of those, if you have a scale, it's like kind of close to the middle of like you have soft and hard. It's like kind of close to the middle of anything. Yeah. It's like just a little push and actually start going towards hard, but in fact, I wonder if someone would make a hard remix or something.
Maybe the L Train should do it. He does really good.
Yeah, very soft, but yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah, it's a great song. The next one I have is Harmony Ascendant by Ponyphonic.
Restless was the world we knew, and cheerless were the days of colors run together in an endless mirror maze. And then two sisters brought us out of discord's dark caprice, and gave us lights to guide us into harmony and peace.
If you were listening last episode, I featured 2 of this guy's songs. So it's great. Also, this guy posted another one, and it's incredible. It's a really awesome. I want to call it like a big choir kind of hymn type thing. Not quite sure if that's the right genre. Probably isn't, but that's what I hear is like a big classic hymnal type song. It's really good.
The talking intro is way too long.
There's a version without that.
I know, but it's still way too long.
Yeah, it's a bit long.
Way too long. Like I'm like sitting there, is there actually singing in this or not?
Yeah, the the beginning of it it's a talking with music in the background to kind of set the story for the rest of the song.
Yeah, but
It's almost 2 minutes long, so yes, it is long. There is a version without the intro,
which is
so
probably necessary because, again, way too long.
But other than
But
the intro,
other
what do you
than
think?
it's all right. I mean, I'm not super woo about it. So, I mean, I don't know. It's kind of, to me, kind of doesn't compare well to his other works. It's just kind of, it's okay. It's listenable. Nothing particularly spectacular or amazing about it. So,
I thought it was great. All right, fair enough.
yeah. But, yeah, moving on from that, I guess.
That's all the music I've got.
Yeah, all the music. Only 2, thankfully.
Not 20.
Yeah. Yeah, I got fanfic because it's been a while since I've done a fanfic on this.
Yes, it
been
is.
a long while. But yeah, I got 2. Two. Anyway, my first one is Deadlight by Lord Distrustor. Yeah, Dead/Light.
Yeah.
Anyway, in this, Twilight wakes up, and she's in a very dark box.
Yeah.
And she's very confused. And she kind of realizes she's in a coffin.
Yeah.
And she gets out, teleporting. And she's very confused. Is this some sort of weird sick prank or joke? Or I don't know. She doesn't know exactly what's going on. She intends to find out. And she goes to Applejack. And, well, after scaring Fluttershy and her animals. Anyway, the Apple family reacts a little weirdly towards Twilight, shall we say? Including Winona, who's like sitting there barking and growling.
Yes.
And Applejack finally just goes, okay, you're dead.
You've been dead for 2 weeks.
Yeah, and of course Twilight is not exactly accepting of this piece of news.
That's putting it lightly.
So anyway, yeah, she kind of... I don't want to go much further because that's basically the first chapter. But anyway, she kind of loses it at this point. She starts getting angry, yelling, and then she goes to others. In this point, the story is about her going further and further into denial about this, even though she knows, like, all the evidence presented in front of her is basically pointing to the fact she's in fact dead.
Yes.
But she's just in such denial that she's lashing out just because she doesn't want to accept that this has happened to her. And I thought it was actually it's dark as hell, but
yeah.
I actually thought it was pretty interesting, even though it's really hard for me to deal with. Oh, you killed Twilight. In fact, I really don't like when people do that. So whenever you start off a fanfic, Twilight's dead, I'm just like, no, you stop that. But yeah, this is really interesting just from just her dealing with. I was kind of worried where the author was going to take it, but I was actually kind of happy with how it ended. I kind of think maybe the characterization went a little too overboard with the denial, but others I've seen people make a case for why this makes sense. But anyway, what do you think?
I thought it was actually fairly interesting. It was not quite what I thought it was going to do, but it wasn't as dark as it started out being. I mean, it kept it from delving really, really into the overly dark themes. Which I guess is a good thing. It didn't get, like, gruesome or anything.
Yeah.
Which is a good thing. But it's definitely an interesting take. Haven't seen that before.
So, yeah. Especially on the whole mortality thing.
Yes.
Pretty interesting take on that.
It is an interesting take on that.
It's only 5 chapters. Go check it. It's fairly short.
13,000 words.
It's fairly short, so check that out. Definitely. Anyway, my other fic, it's called Come Out and Play by Shakespeareacles. This one's a one-shot, a very short one-shot.
Yeah.
And basically, Twilight shut herself in the library, and her friends are upset and don't know why she is doing this, and she seems to be actively avoiding them, and her friends are just trying to get her to come out and play, or whatever.
Yeah.
So, and that's the rest of the fic just kind of is them trying to get Twilight out of the library. Yeah, I can't go much further. It's a really short.
It's really short.
One of the short stories, so I can't say much beyond that.
Learning.
I'm going to say this. You'll either see the ending coming from the beginning, or you won't get it until the very end, depending on your mindset and whatnot. But
I didn't catch it until the very last line.
So yeah. Even though I saw it like from the beginning, I was like, okay, this is really cool. I just really like this kind of how this fic is. It's really short, but it's a really cool idea, and I really enjoyed how it went. even though it's just a really fun little story, and it just tags a slice of life. So, and that's one of those, you don't know what to expect from a slice of life.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I really enjoyed it. It was a really nice little short story that kind of makes you go, oh, yeah, or possibly you're like, oh, or if you're like me, even if you see what's coming, you're still like, okay, this is still pretty good. What about you?
I thought it was really enjoyable. Like I said, I didn't see it. I didn't catch it until the very last line when it actually straight up explains it.
Yeah.
When the perspective shift.
Yeah, because it's from the perspective of Twilight's friends.
Yeah. And then I go, oh, and everything snaps into place.
Yeah, we know why Twilight is shut herself in the library.
Yeah. So, again, it's one of those, I never thought about it that way.
Yeah, so it's a pretty interesting little fic.
So yeah, I would recommend this one. Definitely.
Yeah, it's real short. It's like
it takes like
really
5 minutes to
short.
read or
At
something
most.
like that. So
it's really short. It's like less than 3,000 words total.
yeah.
I'm not even sure if it's even 2,000. Let's look real quick. Yeah, it's not even 2,000. It's 1,800 words. So yeah,
it'll only
really
take
short.
a couple minutes to read. I would highly
take-
recommend going and checking it out.
Go look at it.
Yes, go look at it.
Anyway, I think that's our episode for today.
Yay!
This
Wait,
week.
no.
Yeah. So, yeah, if you enjoyed it, you can also check out past and future episodes on pony411.libsyn.com. All downloads are there. You can also go to YouTube. It's youtube.com/pony411 if you don't want to bother downloading. Subscribe there, if you want.
Yep,
Same.
subscribe.
Or you can go via iTunes. Subscribe there on iTunes. Download it, search for Pony411. All the episodes, again, all of them are there. You can listen to us on Ponyville FM. Yeah, every Tuesday, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. Tune in. You have fun there. That's also particular. Show notes are very important.
Yes.
You can follow us on Twitter. We're at Pony411. Follow us. We'll tweet stuff like
Every now and then.
when episodes come out. Yeah. You can email us, pony411podcast@gmail.com. Questions, comments, criticisms, all that stuff. Angry hatred.
Angry hatred. Tell us we got the wrong genres,
Yeah.
which I didn't, technically.
Don't bring up old ones. Anyway, you can like us on Facebook, facebook.com/pony411. Like us there. Again, episodes are posted there. You can also follow us on our personal Twitters. I'm at Nemesis Prime 1. He's at Alcatraz_ with a 7 instead of a T.
Yep.
So, yeah, just easy. Again, also this stuff is in show notes as well.
Yep.
That's,
If you don't want to listen and type, just click.
Yeah. Click
Much easier.
Just click stuff. So, yeah. That's it for this week. We will not have an episode next week because we are going to PAX Prime, so...
And there's no way we're recording
we
while
can't.
we're busy.
There's simply no way to
That's not
record
happening.
without burning both of us out very quickly. Particularly me.
Yeah. Yeah, so just go download one of our old episodes and
just
listen to it again.
another episode or do whatever. We'll be back the week after, and we'll
have
try to be
something.
mature about it.
Try and be mature about it.
No promises, though. Anyway, till then, please pony responsibly, guys. Take care.